Hello, everybody. Today, hopefully you had a chance to watch Miss Hill, our guest teacher's lesson on AM and PM. And today, that's what we're working on, the difference between AM and PM. All right, and I'm going to walk you through your worksheet today. And here we go. So it's an easier thing to remember. So in the early morning hours, from right at midnight, okay, until you wake up in the morning at 8 a.m., until you go to lunch, maybe have lunch at 11. All of that is our morning hours, okay? So we talk about AM as in the morning and PM as at the night, okay? But if we look up here, it says noon. 12 o'clock is noon, okay? And so at school, 12 o'clock is when our bell rings right at the end of lunch that tells us we have to go back to class, all right? And so that is right at noon. And that is actually the switch from AM to PM, okay? So noon is 12 o'clock in the daytime. Midnight is 12 o'clock at the nighttime, okay? So if you stay up till midnight on New Year's, you are actually staying up through all of the nighttime, the dark hours, right? Until midnight. And then at midnight, it actually switches back to AM, okay? So it's PM all the way up until midnight, and then it switches back to AM, okay? So let's take a look at this. Times after midnight and before noon are written as AM, okay? So if you stay up till midnight, right at midnight, it changes to AM, all right? 11 a.m. is still in the morning. Okay, so at school, we would go to lunch at 11:15 a.m. So 11 a.m. is in the morning. Times after noon and before midnight are written as PM. Okay, so when we go back to class at noon, it is now PM, and it stays PM until you hit midnight again, okay? So 11 o'clock a.m. is when you might have lunch. 11 o'clock p.m. is when you should be sleeping, right? That you should already be sleeping for several hours. Okay, so a.m. and p.m. So let's think about some of these. Would you eat breakfast at 7:15 a.m. in the morning or p.m. at night? You're right. It would be 7:15 a.m. How about going to art class? Okay, let's take a look at this time on the clock. Ooh, I can tell that hour hand is between the 1 and the 2. So it's 1:40. So would you be in art class at 1:40 in the afternoon or PM or 1:40 in the morning AM? Definitely PM, because 1:40 in the morning, that's in the middle of the night, right? Let's look at the next one. How about doing your homework? We have our time on here. It's between the 4 and the 5. It's not at the 5 yet, so it's still 4:30. Would you be doing your homework at 4:30 in the morning, AM, or 4:30 in the evening, PM? I think you're right. I don't know about you, but I don't do any work at 4:30 a.m. I'm sleeping still. Number 4, arriving at school. Well, actually, we arrive a little bit earlier than that, but 8:25 a.m. in the morning or p.m. at night? You're right. Okay, so when we look at our times on our clocks, oops, what did I do? When we look at our times on our clocks, we're thinking about what we would do if it's AM in the morning or PM at nighttime. So when you go to do these, you're going to be dragging your circles over and marking whether it's AM in the morning, remember, in the morning from midnight all the way until noon, or if it's PM, which is from noon all the way till midnight again. All right, guys, good luck today. Bye.